there has been a legend passed, an adage, if you will, passed from generation to generation through eons of time, a legendary prophecy. And it says the following: you Smeltarune, you Deltarune. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
We are here with the official Tony Fox signature approved Deltarune Spoilercast, Theorycast, whatever you want to call it. This is, if you have not played Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, this is going to be filled to the brim with spoilers, filled to the absolute max. Got my good friend Zachy here. 123 I drink pee. 123 ZC.
That's first off, not my name. Second off, we're gonna be filling it to the brim, and we're gonna be filling it to the gym.
Yes.
What was the last podcast we did?
It was New Year's, right? We did the New Year's
podcast. All right, and we're back here for a very special occasion.
Yes.
Smeltarune.
Honestly, I think this will definitely be on our next year's New Year's lists. For sure. So,
100%.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about, like, you know, some thoughts, some observations, some theories, just things that emerged from the past two chapters, because we got in a shit ton. I feel like it really changed, like, it's interesting because, like, I remember our friend Alberto saying, don't have many observations, this is kind of where I expected the plot to go. And I was like, I feel like the opposite. I feel like these two chapters completely changed my understanding of where things are going.
I don't think anybody had it in the cards that the knight was a different person.
Yes, that's what I actually wanted to start with. I think it was like a fandom assumption that the knight was Chris.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do want to warn you. Tony Fox did tell us who the knight is. If you want to know, stick around.
Okay.
We'll be revealing it later.
Yes, this is a fun little, like, tidbit if you stay till the end. So yeah, like, I think we gotta kind of assume that the knight was Chris, but, like, who do you think the knight is?
I mean, I don't know. It seems to be, like, very clearly set up to be Des. Right? And everything else in this game that has been set up has been a misdirection. So, I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too, where, like, everything that I would, like, analyze of the situation leads me to think it's Des. Who I think I knew she existed and then forgot, like, that she was a thing. Like, is she mentioned in chapters 1 and 2 at all?
Rudy talks about it.
Yeah, because I remembered, I'm like, oh my god, I totally forgot about her. That's where I was leaning for a while, but I also... The other thing is because you're on the phone, like, in that whole sequence in 4, where you're watching the Chris, like, vessel, like, and he's on the phone, and it's, like, that crackly, like, black...
I mean, that's Carol.
Yes, because she says, I'm coming right now, and then she shows up at the house.
So, I think the misdirection of this whole thing is that she's not really evil, even though she has a very, like, black and spiky text box. Maybe that's the reception of the phone or something, and I feel like she probably has good intentions, even if she's, like, harsh.
There's a very, like, I feel like this game does a very good job of, like, really throwing you, like, into a place where, like, I don't know who... Like, what's good, what's evil, are we on the good side, are we on, like, fucking things up, like...
Yeah, I mean, it seems abundantly obvious that, like, Chris is not a bad guy, but it's being set up that... It was set up in, like, chapters 1 and 2 that, like, he was kind of evil, and, like, the knight, and opening these portals, and we're the ones stopping it, but it seems abundantly clear that that is not the case.
What do you mean by that? Like...
Because from everything that we see in, like, especially in the house part in chapter 4, it's like... It's very clearly that, like, Chris is a person with his own agency, and like, the evil depiction of him is not necessarily it doesn't necessarily make him evil, even if he's like antisocial or whatever was happening before the story. And like he is working with Carol, it seems.
Yeah.
It seems like he's embroiled in something, but I think, the like evil like red eyes and stuff is all a misdirection. And the knife. It seems like everything that has been shown in these past 2 chapters is kind of like Chris is a normal person with normal ambitions and feelings, but we only see the game when we're controlling him.
Yes, I would agree. I think it's kind of like Tony is kind of taking like he's kind of like taking what he set up as for us to expect, like with like Kara. Is that her name? Kara? Yeah. What we expect with that vibe and energy, like with the red eyes and everything, and he's like, I feel like he's definitely trying to like subvert his own like established thing, where he's like, you think it's this. Yeah, like I really like chapters 3 and 4 do a really good job of like getting you to this place where you're like, is what the knight's trying to do bad or not, or what, or by stopping these things, are we doing something bad? Like kind of like this like ambiguous place where we don't really know who's supposed to be like who's operating on like a place of like trying to fix things versus trying to cause harm, like which one is which, kind of which side is which, you know. It's cool.
Yeah. Do you have anywhere you want to go with that?
You go ahead.
I'm curious as to, because like one of the big unanswered questions presented in this was like, what is the end? What is the second to last part of the prophecy?
I see, like, the obvious thing is that Susie dies, but I think that's too obvious. I think it's got to be something else. Do you agree?
I want to pull up the actual prophecy.
Jockington grows the beard.
It is, and the guy,
an actual part of
toothpaste boy. That's crazy if they like pray that, and Jockington's like,
are they talking about me?
They talking about me?
That's another thing in the game that, like, while you're looking that up, like, that's like really interesting, is that I don't think we knew this before, but like the events of the game are this world's religion playing out. Like, I don't think we had an understanding of that before this chapter. I guess we always saw the Deltarune was on the church, like always, but like we never really like processed that until like now. I'm like playing this, I'm like,
they straight up worship the Deltarune. Like that's like their religious deity.
And like this prophecy is like the religious text of this world, and we're acting it out. It's interesting. And it's like, it's 2 characters, like Susie and Chris, perfectly posed to not like put 2 and 2 together, like, oh, this is like our town's religion, like
is it only the town? Is it the entire world?
We don't know anything about outside the town. That's the thing.
That's true.
Yeah,
so the prophecy ends, the last prophecy, the stories end, and then when all hope is lost for the tale, the final tragedy unveils. To save the world, there is only one way. Blank line, we don't know. Only then will the worlds be saved.
Yes. And then Susie's like pissed at it and like says, I'm not going to let it happen. Or what did they say again? I don't remember exactly. Yeah, something like that. That's where Jockington grows the beard fits in.
that's Jockington grows the beard. She's like, I'm not going to let that happen.
Cuts to like Jockington sleeping. It's like them over the bed with like a razor. Like
they sneak into his house and shave his beard every day.
Yeah, God. When Jockington grows the beard was actually in the game, that was like mind blowing.
I was I was not expecting. I didn't get to it until the second time I played, and then I saw it. I was like,
I didn't see it the first time.
I didn't know it was actually in the game.
So what do you have an idea of what you think the prophecy is? Because I don't know. I don't really know. that section of the prophecy?
I don't know. I think a lot of people have been thinking this, but I think there seems to be this thing where the like two major routes of the game. I think it could be what is it? It says love finds the girl, so I think it could be love finds the girl, and then level of violence finds the girl, like from Undertale.
Oh.
And so, in one of those, maybe the girl is Susie, maybe one of them's Noelle, because it's kind of ambiguous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the thing about what's it called? The part that Susie destroyed, I think it's kind of going to be a misdirection. So I really don't know where he's going with that.
Same. I think there was also a lot of people saying that like a lot of the like you said, like a lot of the parts of the prophecy that like focus on the girl or whatever, it's unclear. Like you're supposed to in the moment think it's Susie. But it doesn't look like Susie, so it's like it's unclear. Like a lot of people have been saying, is it Noelle or is it Susie? Like we don't actually know. But yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot to think about, and this sort of ties into it. But like, Rouse is very interesting because like,
what's he up to?
He's the sussiest of Bakas, I think. Like
somebody I was talking to said that he could be Asriel's hand-me-down clothes that Chris wears.
Oh.
In the overworld, which I think is like a fluffy sweater.
That's super plausible because Chris is always wearing those hand-me-down clothes, right? Yeah, because we were like trying to figure out like what, because it seems like it has to be something that's always on Chris because
I was saying
he's popped up in every Dark World.
Yeah, I was saying I think he's the knife, but we don't know.
Yeah,
I think both of those are very very likely. Because he has to be an object, right? Everything in the Dark World is an object.
And they put emphasis on it in these two chapters, like, multiple times, I think, where they're like, remember this concept.
Yeah, like, these objects have memories, granted to them by the Dark Fountains, but they have this, like, persistence of memory, and this character, even if it was something that didn't necessarily exist before the Dark Fountain came around.
Yeah, it's like it seems like what it kind of does is like it takes real life memories surrounding the object and like what's the word, like gives them, personifies the memory, like kind of like with the TV, like antenna. It's like, oh, like they used to use me all the time, but they kind of stopped using me over the years as like the family grew apart.
Yeah,
and it's like it becomes like a character like story for the thing.
Yeah, I was trying to explain this kind of concept I was thinking of where they are inanimate objects and they don't actually have the capacity to think. It's granted to them when it's opened by the Dark Fountain. They retroactively, whether these things are like real, have a real consciousness or whatever, it's kind of like retroactively given to them by the power of the Dark Fountain.
Yeah, it like fills in the backlog of time, kind of, where it's like.
And I think, I don't know if this is intended. Maybe we're talking him up too much, but I think Tony's like idea with this is that the same way those objects are given, like in this instant, they're given this memory of the past. The characters in the game, that's our relation to the characters in the game, because they don't really exist and they have they don't have any sort of, they don't have consciousness, they don't have anything that happened before the game started, and nothing happens to them after the game started. It only happens while the game is running.
Yes.
But they have this illusion of a personality and a life, even though it's just something that was written.
Yeah, like, I definitely think that there's, even if it's not exactly how you said it, like, there's definitely something with that that's part of, like, the major like theme of this story. I think like
Yeah.
there's something there.
I think the way that the characters in the story feel about inanimate objects is the way that we feel about the characters in the game.
That makes a lot of sense.
Which is kind of similar to Undertale's idea, where it's like the characters know that you're a person, and they know that like you're playing a game, kind of, and they comment on it, right? And they try to make you feel bad about playing a game that was designed to have fun.
Yes.
Right? Like they treat you as if like, why, like, what prompted you to kill everyone? What's wrong with you? But it was, it's something that was intentionally programmed into the game for like, that took years and a ton of artwork and writing for every single part of it. Obviously you're supposed to interact with it.
But like, that's the whole thing though. It's like when you play the genocide route in the first Undertale, like, you feel genuinely guilty playing it.
Right.
Like,
Right. It makes
you feel like so, like, I'm doing something. You're not affecting anything in reality, but like you feel like I'm doing something actively wrong.
You're playing a video game that you purchased for fun, and you're playing the fun boss fights in the game. Like, intentionally, the ones that are the most fun and the most challenging, and the writing is so good that it's making you feel bad, like you've done something.
Yes.
Like you've done something bad. It's
crazy.
So I think that is the commentary that Tony Fox is trying to induce with this game.
I think that makes a lot of sense. To go back to like Rousey quickly, it's because he has this whole like breakdown where he's like, I'm gonna start telling you everything. I've been hiding stuff from you, and he doesn't. He doesn't like. He still keeps shit from you, I feel like, after that point. So there's something like really, and also like there's a lot of like little hints that he always like knows way more than he's letting on. Like I watched the video yesterday where it was like all the piano songs and like what happens when you play them and stuff. Yeah. And it was like some like memes and stuff, but like there's one of the songs where
it's like Rules Card, I think, where he's like, that's that annoying guy's song.
Yes, he says that, and then also there was like it was the theme, just the theme of the area, like the theme of the fountain, like the world, and like when you play that, Susie is like, oh, Rousey was humming that earlier, and it's like the implication that like, okay, he hears the music that plays in the areas, and you don't, because you would just say. Because Susie would just say, oh, that's what's been playing, if she could hear it too.
Yeah,
so it's only Rousey
only Darkeners hear it.
Yeah, maybe Darkeners, that could be a Darkener thing. But I feel like I really don't know what's going on with Rousey. Because like, and also like in the past, I think the big secret could also be that like, Rousey's the only other character that knows that you are not... there's like an entity that's the player that's possessing.
Yeah, it's kind of unclear how much the other characters in the universe know about the human soul. Because there's a box in the Holiday family house, it's a box of heart-shaped pillows, and it says it's a box of human soul-shaped pillows.
Oh,
and it's like,
I didn't catch that.
Is that Chris saying that? Or does everybody know that a human soul looks like a heart? Do other humans have controllable souls? Are there other humans?
That's what I was about to say. Are there other humans?
Well, yeah, because why would they have human...
They wouldn't know what a human is if there was only one human. Like, if Chris was the only human, they just think he's another type of monster.
Maybe he is. So... yeah, and at the end of 4, they like you like pull the soul out of your body, and Susie's like, "What is that?" Right?
Yeah, she doesn't understand that means.
Yeah, I think eventually there's gonna have to be a elaboration on like whether explaining to the other characters what the soul is.
Yeah,
and that it's like a separate person from Chris.
But yeah, I think that could be one of the big things, like mystery things going on, like that he's being sussy about, is that he knows the nature of like what's going on with Chris.
Yeah. Also, in 4, basically every single time you come back for a cutscene, he runs back onto the screen. He was off doing something else.
Yes, that's another thing I forgot about that. Yeah,
it happens all the time.
And like there was a lot. Was it in 1 or 2? I think it happened in 1 once and in 2 once, where you can like choose to watch what Stoozy's doing or stay back, or and then it like cuts back and it's like Rousey's trying to like say something to you or whatever. Like it's like I think that's like something sussy going on. So I thought the festival was a ways off, but it's like it's the next day. The next chapter is going to be the festival. It seems like
So the next chapter is going to be the flower shop, right? That's what was said in the fight, in the secret fight in 4.
I have to reply to an urgent text, but not really urgent, but you keep going.
Yeah, I think the stuff that Gerson was saying in the fight was, I mean, very interesting, right? What is the horrible weapon that he gives? What relevance does this have? This is gonna be used in the shadow, whatever the shadow crystal thing is. What's going on with the eggs? Do you know about the eggs? The egg stuff?
Not really. Like I have I think you need to like explain it. It's like a thing that's like a little bit beyond what I've comprehended so far.
I don't know. It has to do something with like Chris's childhood, like trauma, and like I don't quite know, because the one in 4 is like in a hospital room inside the sanctuary.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's very strange. I've not done the egg in either 3 and 4 yet.
Is the egg like is that related to the Gaster stuff or no?
What? Okay, something about there is. I think there is some relation with the eggs and Gaster, right?
Yeah, like that's really to gather, because like I feel like the Gaster stuff is on this like layer of the story that's like it's very like weird. Like I guess that's how it was in Undertale too. There's like this layer that's there, but it's not tangible enough yet, you know?
Yeah, let me try and read. There's like this theory with like egg in wingdings is like hands or something. Oh. It's like all Gaster hands, and he speaks in hands, and I don't know, something like that. I don't know what's going on with the eggs. Tony said it was kind of important and kind of not important or something.
Tony, that rat fuck.
What does he say? Not important, not too unimportant. That's if you check the egg in the game.
That I don't think that means it's not important to like the narrative. I think that means it's not important to the like to do the full run. You don't need them, but they're important in what they give for the story, kind of, right? That's kind of my interpretation of that.
Yeah, so you end up in like the hospital.
It's like when you go in and out of the room like 50 times or something, and like you're in the hospital room.
In 3 and 4, they're more complicated.
Okay.
You like go through a secret like window in 4.
I feel like I watched a video of this.
The man behind the tree. I don't know. It seems there's so many running threads in this game.
It's insane.
I was talking with somebody about this like running thread of Chris being a dog, which keeps coming up.
What? What is this?
There's stuff about like Chris woofing and growling and wearing dog ears and going in a dog house. It's
I don't remember any of this. Like I don't think I caught any of this.
This is like the most hidden level of stuff. This is below the moss.
I actually got the moss in both chapters this time, like just naturally. Like
I love that the moss is like a running thing.
That you just eat the moss.
You eat moss, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, the eggs, the shadow crystals, the main story, the actual story.
There's like all the it's crazy. Like
Onion-san.
What happened with that? I didn't get any of the Onion Song stuff.
I don't know. I don't know where it stands.
I know when, like, was it 1 or 2 where you wait by the river and he pops up after a while?
You do it in every chapter, I think.
Oh, okay. Is there, like, any story there? Like, I didn't do it in 3 and 4.
I don't know. The papyrus stuff is...
Oh, yeah. There's something... I think that could be leading up to a meme, but I think it could also be story. Like...
Someone was saying that Papyrus might be a baby or a child in this, and it's like, if this takes place before Undertale, then he grows up and he's like a kid in Undertale. Or he's like a teenager, kind of.
Yeah, it seems like teenager, young adult-esque in Undertale.
Yeah, so maybe this, if it's like this reveal that he's much younger than he is, maybe this is what leads into Undertale.
That kind of gets into something I was going to ask, is like, what do you think Undertale is in relation to Deltarune? And these 2 chapters kind of gave me a lot of ideas with that. I don't know if any of them are going to end up being valid, but like, when you like, when the hatch thing falls off the cellar, or not the cellar, the shelter or whatever. Yeah. It corresponds to characters in the... What were the things again? It was like a winter tree, like a pine tree.
Pine tree. The Deltarune was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll look it up.
Yeah, look it up. I think I remember at the time being like, oh, it's obviously connecting to characters that need to be taken down there or whatever. But when you actually you can also think about it as it's the different lands in Undertale, too, right? Like, what were they again?
Undertale 2?
Are you going to be buying Undertale 2? Already bought it, 10 out of 10.
A pine tree, a police badge, and the Deltarune. How does that relate to the 3 areas in Undertale?
So it could be, like, something I thought when I played the game. Like, obviously, it's, like, trying to get you to think the characters. And then this could be totally off base, but, like, Pine Tree, Snowden... the police badge, Undyne, the waterfall, and it was the Deltarune. Could be like the whole like new home, like King area, or the runes.
What about Core?
Core. Well, no, you're still missing fire and lava land and Core or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just a loose idea. It's not really like a full-fledged theory, but I do wonder. Like, I think that there's a high potential that, like, either what is in the shelter is fountained into Undertale, or a fountain is created of the whole town, and that's Undertale.
I thought it was gonna be Asriel's game.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought from the first 2 chapters, but I think that my thoughts on that changed.
I honestly have no idea. I think so much could be misdirections. So much that happened in these chapters was from misdirections.
Yes.
I think it could go legitimately anywhere. And trying to predict stuff based on what is shown is...
Yeah. It's this chapters 3 and 4 proved to us that trying to predict stuff from chapters 1 and 2 is kind of fruitless.
Yeah, because, I mean, we have found out how little we know.
But perhaps my favorite misdirect of all was... Mike! He's still moving.
Ma'am.
Oh my god. If you haven't seen that video...
You're in big trouble, mister.
So, everyone was theorizing after chapter 2 about Mike, because, like, so, there's an idea that, like, Jevil and Spamton are beings that were made aware that they are in a game, and it broke, like, their minds, essentially. And it seemed like Spamton kept on talking about this guy, like, a few times, mentioned this guy named Mike. Mike, like, did he say Mike fucked him over or something? Like, what did he say? I don't remember.
No, he said, we don't need Mike.
Yeah. So, like, everyone's, like, thinking, like, oh, Gaster, Mike's Gaster, whatever, stuff like that. And then in chapter 3 starts, and Antenna is mentioning Mike left and right, and you're like, oh, shit, like, this is real. Like, this is the real thread. And the whole time I was playing 3, I thought that, like, Mike was going to be the final boss of 3.
Yeah.
You're, like, thinking, and no, it isn't. He doesn't really show up at all. And then in chapter 4, you go to the castle town, and, like, inside Antenna's house, right? there's like a
Yeah, there's Mike's room.
Mike's room, and I'm like, wait, what? And then I saw it needed a password, and I was like, oh, this is probably something I missed in 3, so I looked it up.
No, in 3 it needs a password.
No, in 4 you can't go in without a password.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so I'm like,
no. Isn't it unlocked in 4?
No, you need a password to get in.
Oh.
Yeah, so I went there, and I was like, oh, I must have missed the password in 3. So I looked it up and entered the password. Apparently you get it in 4. But...
Oh, it's next to the door in 4. It's
is it?
locked in 3.
Okay.
You played it in 3.
I played it in 4.
Before 4, and I was like, how did you get the password?
No, I played it in the beginning of 4.
Beginning of 4, that's what I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
The part where you're in Castletown.
Yes.
Before the end.
So I go in, I'm like, oh shit. like the mic stuff's happening now. And so I went in, and they do this like very like fourth wall breaking boss fight where it's like all the fan theories of what Mike is like are like, it's just 3 guys pretending to be Mike in those forms. Like, why did people think he was a cat? There was like, I guess, fan theories beforehand that he was a cat.
Oh, because of the smile friend, I think, or something.
Oh, because people thought the smile on the TV was like the Cheshire Cat, right?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, but there is a character that is the smile that's related. We have no idea what the relevance of that is, because it's in the Mantle boss fight, which you didn't do.
It's in when Rouse is explaining stuff in the beginning of 3.
The amalgam thing.
I think the smile comes over the amalgam.
It's like hidden in 2 in places. It keeps showing up.
The smile is like something there. But yeah, so you fight like 3 forms, and it turns out it's just like 3 guys like to keep Antenna happy pretending to be Mike.
Yeah.
And then you go I was dying. You go down the end, everyone leaves, everything's quiet, and like you realize you could just walk to the right of the screen, and you just keep walking forever, like a long time. You get to the end of the hall. There's just like a floating like JPEG of a mic. So it was a meme the whole time.
This was the meme area to show off the Switch 2 like mouse thing.
Oh, that makes so much sense. No, I didn't pick that up, but that like 1,000% makes sense.
It's like Mad Mew Mew.
Oh, that was on the Switch one.
The Switch
right?
one,
yeah.
yes. So he added this thing to like show the new features of the Switch too.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because you have to do like the mouse thing.
You know the story of Mike, like where Mike even comes from.
It's from a commercial.
It's from a commercial where everybody's like, we don't need this, we don't need that, but the main guy is named Mike, and so it's called Big Shot Soda, and so Spamton's like, we don't need Mike. And it's
like a vlog lore meme essentially. Like that's the energy
all
it has.
Deltarune is.
God.
But, yeah, so Mike is not like that, and that's why I think that's why Tenna talks about him so much, is because of the fans talking about Mike so much.
The whole time I was playing 3, I was like still thinking like Mike's I was thinking that like Mike was gonna be the boss of that chapter. Like,
did you get the cutscene where Spamton talks to Tenna?
No.
You didn't know
Spamton's in 3?
Yeah, Spamton's in 3.
I didn't know
He's in your
this at all.
backpack. He's the damn scarf that you get from beating him.
Oh.
It's like a hidden area.
God, I didn't even know. That's another thing. There's so much, and like the fact that this, like a month ago now, was it? Or a few weeks ago, this game came out?
It was...
Or these 2 chapters came out?
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago?
It was the 5th, right? Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and there's still, I think, almost every day I'm still seeing stuff that I didn't know was in the game. Like
there's a lot.
Like I'm still seeing scenes. Like,
did you do the Lancer challenge?
I did not do the Lancer challenge.
Yeah, it's a little hard to find, but it's in there.
What is it? Is that the screen where it's like
Tetris?
No, I don't think I saw it.
Do the Lancer controller thing where you get 3 Lancer control. I was so confused.
I did not understand that part. Do you have to do that part, or was it like optional? I might have just left.
It was like other screens and stuff. I don't remember what the point was.
There's something in 3, right, with like a weird screen where you're in the house.
That's to get the egg.
Okay. So yeah, then that makes sense that like all the egg stuff is like tied to something with Chris.
Yeah, the egg stuff seems to be some kind of like childhood, like, do you remember your dreams as a child thing?
Do you remember being born?
Yes, exactly. There's a lot of Petscop stuff in this.
Deltarune and Petscop sometimes, not like Deltarune is like, you know, way like funnier energy, but like it sometimes gives me Petscop energy, like that, like Petscop. I wouldn't be surprised if Tony has not seen Petscop.
That's actually crazy because the creator of Petscop is also named Tony.
Is this true?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe they're both named Tony.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
What was I just gonna say? Oh yeah, so like yeah, there's this underbelly to the story. I feel like
there's like 5 underbellies.
Yeah,
at least.
There's like a lot of these layers, and it's very interesting. It reminds me a lot of like tonally, like I was saying, like tonally, it's very similar to One Piece in that like it's like this like there's so much comedy and everything has a very comedic, fun, energetic tone, and then like under that there's like
4 did not.
Yeah,
4
no,
was very
yes.
Serious. Well, I'm kind of.
The fucking part when you're fighting the Guardian and if you die once, this pops up and he's like, it's one of the little guys, the little bucket guys, and he's like, I made it all the way up here to help you. it's like after you think about everything you did to get up there, and it's like I made it all the way up there to help you, and he just gives you items. But no, yeah, and like before 4, I would say it's like very similar to One Piece, where it's like all this comedy, and then there's like just this layer of like fucked up, like weird, horrific shit under it. Mm-hmm. But no, 4 is very good, and I think it was really smart that they released 3 and 4 at the same time, because I think if 3 came out alone, people would have been disappointed. But I think them work back to back makes so much sense, because it's the funniest like chapter back to back to the darkest chapter so far.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that works very well together.
How much do you know about the sword stuff in chapter 3?
I don't.
Do you not know about? Are you going to play it, or do you want me to?
No, you can tell me spoilers and stuff.
It.
Like, I don't care.
So there's like this hidden game if you get S rank in the rooms.
Yeah, I need to go back and get S rank. I did not do that. But
yeah, and it's administered by this guy, Ram, who like knows too much. I think he seems to be like a Gaster follower or something. That was the vibe I was getting. But he kind of knows more, and he's like kind of prods you to play this like the original game of the original like Zelda game that you're playing in the boards is this game called Mantle, and in it you like collect a sword, and you kind of all the enemies are like passive. They don't really the like mobs are passive, and they don't really do anything until you start killing them, and then you start leveling up, and you can destroy more stuff. Eventually you like have to kill everything in the game, and then you get like an ice key, and then you kill everything again, and you go all the way north on the map, and then you open the ice door, and it's kind of like it's the snow grave route basically, and you get like a Noel, you get a hooded white figure who is able to freeze everything.
What this is something I had literally until right now I had no idea was even in the game.
I can't believe we're doing a spoiler cast and you haven't beaten the secret bosses.
Yes, I have not actually.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm spoiling it for you. You should go. You should be the one going and fighting the bosses. Do you know the chapter 4 bosses, right?
It's the guy, what's his name, Gerson? Yeah. He like doesn't he like isn't like a training kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he like tells you the whole like prophecy.
Yeah, he tells you because there's like books, right? That's another thing. There's books.
He wrote books based on the prophecy.
Yeah, and then like there's a whole thing where like his son, what is his son like?
Alvin.
Yeah, Alvin. Yeah, he like doesn't want to continue that. What was the whole thing with that again?
Well, his son becomes a priest, right?
Yeah. But yeah, he wrote books like that are like sort of inspired by the prophecy, and he like tells you what happens in each of the books. And I think people were like interpreting what those will be for the chapters, right?
4, the smith gives the girl the terrible a terrible weapon or something.
And he gives Susie the weapon if you beat him, right?
Uh-huh.
And then what does he say for the other ones? I'm very curious.
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah.
Chapter 1.
I watched a video about these, but it was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think you should probably play the sword route stuff because it's kind of important.
Yes. No, my plan right now is to like I'm waiting for someone to make like a comprehensive list of like all this shit, and then I'm gonna go back and like do it all like checklist by checklist kind of. But no one really has that. Like people are still finding stuff. Like no one really has that comprehensive list yet.
Chapter 1, March of the Dark King. The heroes defeat the king and stop the dragon. Chapter 2, The City of the Shining. The heroes do battle in chariots to save the queen. Chapter 3.
That's interesting. That's because you like it's everything.
In the minecarts, you fight Burgley.
Yeah, everything has something like slightly wrong about it. It seems like, right?
Chapter 3, The Isles of Northern Light. The hero travels among the islands and catch a glimpse of the lost... the heroes travel among the islands and catch a glimpse of a lost land.
That could be what you were just saying.
Chapter 4, The Trials of the Holy Hammer. A great smith gives the heroes a terrible weapon. Chapter 5, The Field of Pink and Gold. The vast garden is charred in an inferno of jealousy.
That's gotta be why.
That's why people think
it's the flower shop.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Did he say 6 and 7, or?
No, just the first 5.
Okay. But yeah, it seems like in each of these, there's something like slightly wrong, like off about them. Like they can't really, like the dragon in the first one. No, it says they slay the dragon, right?
Stop the dragon.
Yeah. Well, I guess they stopped Susie from being violent. And then 2, they don't save the queen. The queen is the enemy. Unless you're talking about Noelle.
Well, they kind of saved the queen. I don't know.
Yeah, she's good now, but like... Yeah, it really is crazy that like we're 3 weeks out, and like I think every day I see a new video of like something that's like I did not know about the game.
Yeah, I'll see shit that I've never seen before.
Like
somebody like showed me a room that I'd never
what was
even
it?
seen. There's like you can go behind the shop in chapter 3. You can like enter the shop.
That's crazy.
Right?
How?
You can like go down from the entrance to the sword route room.
Oh, interesting.
There's like secret rooms for getting T rank, and there's secret rooms for getting Z rank. There's there's the whole secret desk room, which I mean that's crazy.
What's the desk room?
You know the desk room where like you put 1225 in the machine?
I did see this. It's like and you can like you get into that weird like insane maze where you're like walking and you walk off.
Yeah, and there's the stuff about the shadow gems. I don't know.
And then there's the gaster noise in there too.
Yeah.
So like before you get kicked out of it, right? There's like they plays the gaster sounds.
And then the machine disappears.
Yes.
I don't know.
So there's something going on with like the death stuff and you know all that stuff that's like I has to be connected to Gaster in some way, right? Like, I feel like the energy there is like there's some. I think we just don't know enough yet.
We really don't know enough.
Yeah,
it seems like maybe a lot of these different running threads will be leading to like conclusions for different characters, and
like each thread is kind of like tied to a different character's arc.
Could be.
Yeah, I could see that.
Who's the Chris actually being a dog thread gonna lead to?
I've not seen. I don't know anything from it.
I'm gonna try and find the dog stuff.
There was like a dialogue option or two where it's like bark like a dog or something, right? Yeah.
It's like the most subtle thing, but it keeps coming up. I'm looking it up. You keep talking.
Okay, so like, there's definitely something going on with Chris, Carol, and Asgore. like, I don't know what it is yet, but Chris and Carol are definitely in league on something. And it seems like Asgore is in it because he just showed up at the house without, like...
Asgore seems to be in cahoots with Carol.
Because he shows up at the house, and he never gives a reason why he's there, right?
Well, I think he does chores for her because she financially supports his shop being open after the divorce.
But also that ties into something, too, with, like... Because a lot of people were saying, like, the flower shop reminiscent of, like, the flower experiments in Undertale.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's, like, something there with, like... trying to bring back Des or something?
That's a lot of thinking.
Yeah. I think that makes sense, because there's a lot of that in Undertale, too. Like, using the flowers to try to do, like, experiments with that.
Yeah, and, like, trying to give them souls and stuff.
Yeah. So there could be something going on there. But, like, Chris is involved in it somehow. Because, like, Carol is, like, actively calling Chris on the phone. Carol has to know about the soul thing, right? I would think she does. Like the nature of Chris.
She says she 100% does.
Yeah.
Because he says you in red text, referring to you, the soul.
Yeah.
So I found it. I think there's very funny how many instances there are of Chris acting like a dog. Chapter 2, the laser puzzle. Noelle says, "Gosh, do you need a dog treat or something?" And if you say yes, Chris says it extremely genuinely. And if you say no, Chris howls like a dog. Chapter 2, task manager fight. They all sit down, but Chris bends down like a dog sitting. Chapter 3, they make jokes about Chris scratching at the door like a dog needing walkies. Susie makes a joke about putting dog ears on Chris, and Chris does the howling joke again. Chapter 3, in the Tenna fight, when the outfits for TV cities physically change, it's shown Chris wearing a blue dog onesie. And in Chapter 4, Toriel says Chris was sleeping like a puppy. And if you wait at the lake for dialogue at the very end of 4, Chris howls when Susie's ready to leave. This has got to just be a bit, right? Like, it's just a running bit. I think it's a bit. I think it's a running bit. But it's funny that this is something that keeps coming up.
Yeah. Speaking of bits, Sans fucking your mom. Literally, like, the way that was genius, because it's like everything's kind of like dark at that part of the story, and you're just like feeling like really like somber, and you walk into the house. It just pans over, and it's fucking Sans and Toriel dancing. I audibly screamed. I was like let out a noise.
I played all of 3 and 4 back to back, and so I was not feeling much at that point. I was 8 hours in.
Oh, I should tell the story of what I did with because I was working full time days during when it came out. So I did half of 3 the night it came out. The second half of 3 the next night. Then I did... What did it come out on a Tuesday? So I think I did half of 3 Tuesday, second half of 3 Wednesday. No, it must have come out on the Wednesday. I'm trying to think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I played... I was like, I'm going to play all of 4 tonight. And I'm doing the Guardian fight. And it got to the point where I wasn't dying, but it was going forever. And
you weren't fighting it.
I'm because I was trying to spare it or act on it, and I've been doing this forever. Something's wrong, and then you're like, yeah, you have to fight it. And I was like, oh, and I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. I literally I think I slept for 4 hours.
Well, you also fought Jack and Stein for 2 hours.
Oh,
right?
Okay. The fucking every chapter. I don't think 3 had this. No, I don't think 3 did, but I feel like every fucking chapter has this boss that's supposed... it's like a mini-boss halfway through that's supposed to take 10 minutes. Because I remember this happened with Spamton when I first played 2, where it took me, like, an absurdly long time. And it happened again with Jack and I, where I'm like, I'm playing it. Took me about 2 hours to beat Jack and I, and I'm like, this was supposed to take 10 minutes. It was like, this was a 10-minute fight. And, yeah, I was like, it was like 3 a.m. and I was fighting the Guardian, and I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. So I think I literally... No. I fucking hate Horse Rousey so much.
Horse Rousey is a complete abomination. And I think maybe this entire game should not have been made.
Oh, God. But yeah, like, I think I'm like on the Guardian fight. I'm like, I gotta go to sleep. Went to sleep, woke up like 4 hours later, went from my bed to the chair, and finished the game. But yeah, no, when that happened, when the Sans thing, I audibly screamed. But then I thought about it more, and I'm like, I wonder if this is like same consciousness, same like brain space Undertale Sans, and I wonder if he's there to watch you. Like, if he's like there, he's getting in with your mom to like keep an eye on you.
Somebody posted something where it's like we have this connection with Sans because of all the Undertale stuff, but in universe, Sans is the guy who moved to town 2 days ago and is now fucking your divorced mom.
Did he move to town 2 days before the game?
Something like that. You've never met him. You've talked to him twice.
Yeah.
You said friend, and he said, I've never met you before, and now he's banging your mom.
That could also be the bit that's happened. That's what he's trying to do, where it's like he's trying to do this bit where you're putting so much emphasis on Sans because when he has no actual like, he's just a meme character.
He's just
in
the
this.
guy.
Yeah, that could be the bit too. But I do wonder if he's there to like.
Have you seen the stuff about like we need to kill Sans? It's like
everyone's
so offended.
Everyone is turned on Sans now.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like Sans is a menace.
He's like a malevolent entity now. He didn't really do anything wrong.
He's
partying like, with a single woman.
Yeah, like it's allowed. Like, and he also asked if you want to dance with them. He's not exclusive. He's like, hey, you can join us. We're having fun. Is that the final shot of the game when you're like in the bed like trying to sleep? Is that the final shot? I can't remember.
Is that a reference to that one zebra rip?
It might be, because it's like the noises are as if like the character speech are like fucking, and it's like you're like tossing and turning in bed. Is that the final shot of the chapter? I can't remember.
Well, Chris is. You're in the cage.
Yes,
you're in the cage.
God.
Soul in a cage.
Yeah.
With human parts.
Yeah, that
human
part
soul
of
and parts.
Yeah, that part is very interesting in the prophecy. But yeah, it like that's like we talked about this before, but like it's very interesting that like the world where like this, at least we know this town, but like the religion of these people is the game you're playing. It's weird. Like I didn't expect that to be the case. Like
yeah, I mean I didn't expect them to actually like outright pray to the Deltarune, which kind of there was this thing in Undertale where it was like they have like a slightly different interpretation of the Deltarune, but they also like find it as a holy symbol.
Yeah. But so like going back to the whole like what Undertale is in relation to this, it's interesting because like that's why I think it's almost like might be a founded version of the town, because like there's a lot in Undertale like where the dynamics are like kind of like what you were saying about the inanimate objects like getting these like backstories. It's like the people kind of have the same dynamic, like the king, like Asgore and Toriel separated.
This is why. I mean, the game, they say it's Asriel's game in like chapter 1 or whatever.
Yes.
The thing about them being the king and queen, but them actually being his divorced parents, but they're like the king and queen separated over like across the world. It kind of makes sense, right?
Yes, it 100% makes sense. Like, yeah, it's just it's one of those things that we just don't know enough yet. But there's a lot of things that like with the way like Darkners are created and stuff that like reminds me of how if you compare in relation like the Undertale characters to the Deltarune counterparts, it's like it feels like how a Darkner and an object would interpret their situation is like kind of like how the Undertale characters are interpreting their situation of like what their Deltarune counterparts are like dealing with, you know?
Okay, that's interesting.
Like
what does it say in Undertale? Person tells the protagonist about a prophecy and how it relates to the Deltarune symbol.
Yes.
He states the triangles represent the monsters below, while it's believed that the winged circle represents the angel from the prophecy. Undertale's prophecy, which is different from the legend of Deltarune, foretells that an angel will descend from the surface and bring freedom to the monsters who live underground. Also, in Castletown, the Deltarune is colored. One of them is pink, one is blue, and then the one pointing down is green. So it's coordinated with the characters.
Yes.
Whether that is canon, we don't know. Also, you didn't play it in the sword route. The ice door that you go through has 4 triangles. Presumably one for Noelle. We don't know.
Yeah, it seems like it was interesting that Noelle is not in your party in these 2 chapters. Like I thought I thought she was gonna be like a permanent fixture in the party. But
or we're gonna get a different person each chapter.
Or that, yeah. Like I thought Jockington was gonna be a party member in 3.
I thought Jockington was gonna grow the schmeared.
Jockington wears the skewered.
I'm a bearded snake.
Joke that only 2 people, us, will get. What is the overlap of Deltarune greatest event in television history fans? There's got to be some more Siva people that are both, right? Because Adult Swim, I feel like there's got to be some more overlap there.
I mean, there has to be a lot of overlap. The amount of people who care about it, probably not that many.
Yeah. So I feel like Noelle is definitely
a bearded actor.
Noelle, like, what is your because like I gave my like whole Undertale thing. What is your interpretation of what's going on in the shelter?
You actually go into the shelter in the sword route, which obviously you don't know.
You go into the shelter? How have you not told me about this before?
Well, I thought you were gonna play it.
So what happens?
Why would I spoil it? That's where the final like boss fight of the sword route, where you fight the mantle, is.
Okay.
So it's like a Zelda dungeon inside there.
Okay. But like, what do you think's going? Cause that's in like the gamified version, right? Like in the TV world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have absolutely no idea what's in the shelter. I think trying to guess is stupid.
We don't have enough, yeah.
We don't have enough info.
But yeah, I definitely think there's something going on with like Asgore, Carol, Chris. Like I wonder if it has something to do with trying to bring back Des, and like a lot of people theorizing that Carol's the Knight, wondering if like, because I do think everyone is like probably like, I don't think the Knight, do you think the Knight's evil?
All signs point to Des. In my opinion, I think it is Des and the Knight is not evil.
Yes, that's my interpretation too.
I think the Knight has a motive that is bigger than us.
Yes. I think that, yeah, like both, there's no evil party. I think that both parties don't have an full understanding of the situation, and they're both acting like we have to stop the other. Like, that's like, they think that like...
Okay, maybe the Knight is vested in stopping the prophecy from happening.
Yes.
I don't know what else is like this. But, I mean, I feel like... hold on. Is there some media that we like that is like this? Where somebody's trying to stop the prophecy from happening, and in turn making it happen?
Oh, there's this point. That happens, that's a big part of A Song of Ice and Fire. It's like, there's a few characters in that series where it's like they're like so obsessed with stopping this prophecy, and everything they do ends up leading to a different part of the prophecy, like kind of.
Oh my god! There's something that's
there's something
exactly
else that we
like
both
this.
like.
What is
yeah.
it? What is it? We got to figure this out.
But speaking of influences, though, like the knight is just a Homestuck character, and like the design is just like, I'm like, oh, this is a Homestuck character.
People have been pointing out that the knight is literally just aura farming and not the knight. So the knight like slashes Tenna, right, and then puts away his sword and turns around and waits for you to walk over before he pulls out the sword again. Yeah. But yeah, everything the knight does is just like aura farming. So, which is kind of, I think, why we think it's one of the reasons why we think it's Des, and it's like a young person kind of like like wanting to be cool.
I think the knight is definitely a young character, like a I wouldn't say a child, but like someone that's like, it's not an ancient being of some kind or anything. It's like definitely like someone that's I lean toward Des, but we really don't know. Because it seems like there's multiple times where the knight like could kill you for real and doesn't, like gets you to like the brink of death and then doesn't kill you, right? I feel like that happened multiple times.
I mean, that happens at the end of 3, right? Unless you win.
Unless you do it as the secret boss, yeah.
Yeah.
And then in 4, there's a part in 4, right? Like when you're going down that hallway and you're all about to die, and then you're just like, oh, we're done. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, like... So there's something there with like the knight not... I think they're not wanting to kill Chris, right? Like,
again, if it's Des, then
makes sense because they were like childhood.
Chris is her friend.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely still at that stage where it's like too early on. Do you think there's a secret chapter 8 that's going to come out?
I hope it boots you into Undertale.
That's what I'm... So, not... Jokes aside, that's, like, genuinely what I'm thinking. Like, I'm wondering if Chapter 8 is, like, the Undertale Fountain, or, like, something like that. Like, it seems weird to end it... Right? Do you think 7's weird? Like, everything is 8.
It would be crazy if, like... It was, like, a ROM hack of Undertale.
That's something Tony would do, though.
But it's like a ROM hack, and you start the game, and you're Chris... and you start in the ruins, and you have to like interact with everyone. That would be crazy. It's something he would do. I feel like it's the same game, but he rewrites all the text, and there's like new boss fights and stuff. That would be awesome.
I could totally see this happening. I do think there is going to be a secret Chapter 8 that's somehow connected to Undertale in some way.
It does say at the end of 4 that you're halfway done.
Yes.
Not more than halfway. Halfway.
Yes. Interesting. I feel like there was a lot in 4 that was like... There's a lot in 4 that's like very weird. Like, none of the recurring meme characters, like Lancer, Rules, they're not in 4.
4 seemed much more serious to have like joke characters tag along. Rules card needs to die. He's pretty cool, but he deserves to die.
God, that fucking the thruple bit was so funny.
Do you know the Starwalker thing?
I think you told me about it. What is it again?
If you have Starwalker, if you follow this another like running bit, like the Starwalker bit, if you have him, he replaces Rules card in the thruple. I don't know. There's too much going on in this game.
God.
Honestly, that cemented Rules card in my head as being like the best candidate for dying. Like, I hope he meets
permadeath,
a terrible, horrible fate.
How is he getting from chapter to chapter?
He's in your backpack.
Oh, what is he again?
He's a Rules card.
Oh yeah, you're absolutely right. That makes but like. Is there other recurring that are in all the chapters other than those two?
What is Lancer's an ace of spades?
Yeah. What's I feel like there's is there more, or is that it?
Starwalker comes with you.
Yes.
But we don't know what item he is. No, there's nobody else other than Rousey. There's nobody else who comes with you. I believe.
What do you think what do you think the Guardian is? Like the Guardian, or they're not called the Guardian. That's the
Titans.
song, the Titans. The song on the soundtrack is called The Guardian. So I keep calling them Guardians just because of the name of the song, but it's their Titans.
They're when you open a fountain in the. It says in the prophecy what like the Titans are. But yeah, it's when you open a fountain in the Dark World, it summons a Titan, right?
Oh, like a fountain within a fountain.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's another influence thing where I'm fighting the Titan. I'm like, oh, like yeah, this series is very much inspired by Mother, because it's pretty much just Guy Gas. Like the Titan is just Guy Gas.
The world basked in purest light. Beneath it grew eternal night. The light and dark both burning dire, a countdown to the earth's expire. If the fountains freed, the roaring cries, and Titans shaped from darkened eyes. Yeah.
If the fountains freed, the roaring cries. So it's like the night. It seems like it's the night getting upset. Is it the night getting upset if you close the fountains? Like, is that what that means? Like, I was thinking about that line. I remember while I was playing it. Like, what does it mean? Because it's definitely not a direct. Like it's like weird. It's like has like room for interpretation.
What is the roaring? Is that like
I think
the end of the world?
I think the roaring is the night.
No, the roaring, also known as the Dark Truth, is part of the legend of Deltarune.
Because the night's called the Roaring Night, right? That's like the full name.
The roaring describes an apocalyptic event where if too many fountains exist at once, the world will fall into chaos. Beings known as the Titans will spawn and wreak destruction upon the land. All Darkeners will eventually turn to stone like Lancer and Rolls did in Chapter 2. The Lighteners, in turn, will be left to fend for themselves in eternal darkness.
Is that Undertale?
Could be.
Like, I think that, like, makes sense. Like, I remember thinking that during the game, like, the Lighteners being, like...
Well, no, because Gerson's alive in Undertale.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a retcon there, but, like...
I do think... Because that would make sense if, like, let's say this hypothetical that the whole town is fountained. That would make sense because Gerson's remains are in the town, and we saw it. I think... I wonder if... that was something I thought during the game. I don't think this is true, but I wonder if... I had like the random idea that like Rousey is what happens to Azrael's remains when he's fountained, but like I don't. What do you think's going on with Azrael? I think I could see it going a way where it's like, oh, you guys were thinking, well, putting so much like thought into this, but he's actually just at college, or like
could be. He could be at college. He could be dead. He could be working with Knight and Carol and stuff.
It just seems so... He could be the Knight. I think it's too obvious, though. I think that's like another one where it's like, oh, that's literally just the plot of Undertale. like him being the Knight would be like the Undertale.
It would be a little too obvious, but it might be the case.
Yeah, I think it's too like... That's another thing, and you didn't... I think we talked about this and you didn't put much stock into it. We don't ever see beyond the town, and we don't see anyone leave and come back from the town, right?
We don't see the exit. Oh, wait, no, we do, right?
It's blocked off. It's like...
Oh, yeah.
There's like the police barriers.
The police tape. I mean, presumably there's a world outside of the town.
Yeah, but like we never see it, and we don't know of any characters... The only character we know that left and is supposed to come back is Azrael, right?
Yeah.
Like no one else talks about leaving and coming back.
I think this might be like meta game stuff where it's like, why would you leave the town? It's a video game.
Yeah, thinking too hard about it. I think that could be.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's just so much shit, like especially in these two that I think I think it's one of those things though where it's like everything we're guessing is going to be invalidated the next, because this happened with like between 2 and 3. There was so much we were guessing that was completely invalidated. Like by
I would
3
be
and 4.
interested in hearing what we were thinking in 2 and 3, what we were thinking after 1 and 2.
After 1 and 2, it was like there was like the blanket assumption by everyone that Chris was the knight.
Yeah.
What other theories were going on then? There was a lot of Mike talk, which led to the bit.
The Mike talk was stupid, but we knew the answer immediately, and people kept talking about it.
I don't think I like was 100% sold that it was just a meme, but
I think it was mostly.
I'm also very fine with it just being a meme.
It was mostly stuff about the weird route.
Yeah, the snow grave, right? Yeah, he's brutally dead.
He's alive.
Yes.
Right. He's just in the hospital.
Yeah. See, he was definitively like injured by.
But he was alive.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's stuff in the weird route where like you can put like a heat pack on him to help him, and you like leave at like the ending cutscene. You leave the house to go like.
You
talk to
Noelle,
him.
right?
Yeah, you talk with Noelle.
What does anything like because I
didn't... after 2 apparently in the weird route, you were the one who brought him to the hospital, or Chris was, not you. You're in the cage. You're in the cage.
So yeah, like I do think Tony is trying to do a subversion there with like he's trying to make you think of the Kara iconography.
Yeah,
and the villainous, but like we never actually.
Chris is kind of like an antisocial loner, but not a bad person.
Yeah,
like clearly cares about.
We
his
never
friends.
actually he seems like a menace, and we never actually see him do anything bad, right?
Other than like, I mean, it's like the like mean smile at the camera and like pulls out the knife. But I also think that's like part of the misdirect bit.
Yeah,
I think that is the posturing for misdirection.
Like, like if you think about it, like you don't want a fucking another entity possessing you. Like of course he's gonna try to rip him out. Like,
yeah,
when he can.
So it also seems like humans can't like sleep with the soul, because it'd be like, you'd be controlling the game and stuff, which is like why the soul goes into the cage, into the cuck cage. At night.
Yeah, because it's like all the bad things you can do are with the soul in it, right? You can't do any bad things when he doesn't do any bad things when he rips it out.
No, and apparently, like, I think we saw he like loves playing the piano, which is cute. And then when you touch any instrument, it's like
yeah. So what happens at the end with Noelle in that route?
Does he go like apologize to Noelle?
I'm asking you.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, because I guess I gotta watch or play that part. But yeah, I definitely like my plan is when this becomes available, because I don't think people have like compiled this yet. Like a list, like a comprehensive list of like all the stuff. Like I don't think it exists. Like I think people are just kind of posting what they find. But like once, like I want to do like go through a list and like checklist, like do everything there is to do, and like have a file where it's like
a file that has everything. Yeah, I saw that for chapter 1 and 2, but I
think it might be too early for 3 and 4. But we have that was great when they announced at the end that 5 is next year, because I'm like okay, like knowing 5 is next year, I'm like. I think the amount of material we got in 3 and 4 is like more than enough to like speculate over for a year.
A year to a year and a half.
Yeah.
I had to not talk about that for days while you finished the game.
Oh, that 5 was next year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. And we got our friends Alberto and Jen to both play it right away.
Oh my god.
How did that happen? They didn't play like 2 for like years after it came out.
Like, it took Alberto years and Jen never played it.
Until now. She played it.
Until chapter 3 and 4 came out.
And she loved it.
It's a great game.
Yeah.
It's a fucking amazing game.
So what is your current ranking of the chapter? I think we have the same one.
4, 2, 3, 1.
That is my current ranking as well.
It seems to be a lot of people's.
I would say maybe swap 3 and 1, but also I think the comedy in 3 is like 3 is so fucking funny. Like
3 is annoying because I don't like Zelda 1.
Yeah.
But 1 is pretty boring. Considering I've also played 1 like 5 or 6 times, and it's pretty short.
1 is, it's just like, it's the general like prologue to the story. Like it's good and it got us excited about it, but it's not like once you have 2, 3, and 4. It's
This
like,
is exactly what I was saying. I was saying most people's favorite parts of the story are not the intro.
yes.
Right? The like rising action is not people's favorite part of the story. They like the climax, usually.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. 1 is the least interesting, but it's also it's Deltarune, so it's still really good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'd say that's my order too. It is crazy that you like, if you're fighting the Titan now at the end of 4, like
what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen
5, 6,
next?
and 7.
I was very surprised by that, like that you actually fight it now. I was like where does this go? Yeah, it's just we don't know enough yet. I think.
Yeah, I thought the Gerson fight was gonna be the end boss, but I guess it's not very final.
So what does he do? It's like a friendly fight, right? He like trains you.
I
didn't actually watch it. I just heard about it.
I was talking about the fake one, but
Oh.
he like
like the fake thing where you think it's him, but it's actually like with the statue from his office or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I was thinking that was the final boss, and then the whole Titan thing happened. I was like, wow. And then so
there's 3 fountains in 4.
Yeah, that's crazy. The Gerson fight is he says like he says like cut my hair and you can have it.
His like ponytail thing.
Yeah. No, he doesn't want them all cut. He just wants a haircut.
1 hair.
Yeah, so you cut 1 hair. But yeah, like if you like lose, he just stops and he says, if you want the weapon, come talk to me.
And you just do it again.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't like kill you or anything.
How do you get it? How do you get that?
You beat him.
No, how do you trigger the secret boss?
You unlock all 3 parts of the song and you go to the golden piano and play it.
Oh.
Do you not find any of them?
The song. Don't you have to find 2 to proceed? At least 2?
You have to go back into the chapter and climb the towers. There's like 3 towers that have 3 fragments of the song.
Do you am I thinking of something else, or do you have to do part of that to proceed in the game period?
You do not have to do part of that to proceed in the game.
So I must have. There's a part where you have to like play piano songs on the big piano, right?
It's not the big piano, it's the golden piano.
Oh, okay. That was my confusion.
It's like directly up from the center.
Okay. I was like the layout of that whole like the church one was like I was like,
yeah, it's a little confusing.
It's confusing, yeah. I like that room in the library where it's like, oh, what's up here? And you go and it's just like a bunch of like people
in a circle.
Right in a circle. Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah.
Or the part where there's like a bunch of them in the shadows and you interact with one and then you go somewhere and you come back and it's gone.
That's creepy. Yeah, 4 was like very creepy overall, I would say. Like there was like creepy tones.
Yeah, it was great.
I like the enemies that are just Poplio and Evolution. Like they're not like right. They look exactly like them.
Yeah, and Brioni.
Yeah, yeah. It is very like I said before. It is very clever how like he released 3 and 4 at the same time because they're so like you're playing 3 and it's mostly comedy. And then you play 4 and you just have this like feeling in your gut the whole time. You're just like there's comedy throughout, but like the you're taking too long fight, which was great. So I watched a video about that fight that was actually interesting. It's like it's not like the amount of time you take that triggers that. It's just if you get the key, like it will happen.
Yeah.
It's like So you can take, like, infinite amount of time in each section.
Yeah, correct.
And also you can beat it without getting... you can beat it without getting into the keys. I think it like... If you sit doing nothing in it for... I think it's literally 9 hours, it'll move to the next move automatically.
Why?
So you can... If you spend 9 hours on each... Someone just did this in a video. If you spend 9 hours on each room and you don't get any of the keys, you still win the fight.
That's what you should have done. It would have been faster.
Yeah.
I did not know you could die on that fight.
It was like... Yeah, there's like certain fights like where it's like I didn't have a hard time with the Tenna fight. I didn't have a hard time with the Guardian. It's like certain fights where it's like I just cannot, like, it is so hard for me for no reason. Like, yeah, but the you're long.
You're too long.
That was so good. And then he like when you have to shine the light on him, and it's just like. Like, I
like when he's like,
Mario
my face is too horrifying, and he takes it off. It's just like a little doggy.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
he's like I wear the
pumpkin
mask, and then he's like the cutest little dog face.
Yeah. I love how he like becomes. He supposedly becomes like the maid for the office for Gerson's office, and it's just like it's like him like taking up half the office with like a tiny little broom sweeping a spot. Yeah, so good. You have anything else? I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah,
it's the gif of him taking off the hat to reveal the cutest little
dog
dingling ever.
Everyone bullied him, he said, in the world, which is sad.
Damn.
Must have been all the little bucket guys were bullying him.
What are they? Are they lights?
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It's like a feather with a bucket, right? Like, what is that?
Maybe I'm stupid and I don't know. But
I think it could have been just something that we're like looking at.
We're getting to this because people are going to complain in the comments if we don't. What are they called?
I don't remember. But that I found that really funny when it's like if you die on the Titan. Cuptins.
They're red plastic cups.
Oh, is it the juice cups?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yellow juice and red juice. I was just imagining that was just bug juice
solo
from
cups. They're solo cups.
I was just imagining that was bug juice from camp the whole time. That's like what it was in my head. Fucking Alfie is being too scared to get juice because Susie was standing near the juice table.
Isn't she literally her student?
She's her student.
I like this guy.
What?
Tao.
I can't even see. When does he show up? I don't even remember.
He just shows up like off to the side of the... He's the purple guy who wags his butt. He's a metronome.
Yeah. People hard predicted 4 being the church.
I think it was revealed in the Spampton stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like, people... Like, the community consensus was that it was the church. I think you're right, probably with 5 being the flower shop.
I mean, it seems really obvious from the prophecy that he tells you.
Yeah. Jockington grows the beard.
Wait, Starwalker is in chapter 4, if you have him?
What?
Starwalker enters the dark sanctuaries through unknown means and can be found in a petrified state in the second sanctuary, before being described as an original-looking statue. The Starwalker stuff is so funny.
God.
And he helps the players climb if they recruited everybody into the Dark Sanctuaries. That's
great.
He's the original Starwalker. What can I say?
Yeah.
Also, the Guardian looks like the Starwalker bird.
Yes, I noticed that
crazy.
too.
Also, it looks like a guy before you can see it, and then the face kind of looks like Gaster's face. Or like the like star with the wings over it kind of looks like Gaster's face. People were pointing that out.
Does it? I didn't think of the Gaster connection, but I think it's what the Guardians. I mean, the Titans. I keep calling it Guardian because that's the name of the track on the soundtrack. But the Titan, what they are, is very interesting. Because they shoot out fetuses.
Look at like the tiny thumbnail. If you search it up on the wiki and you look at the tiny thumbnail, doesn't it?
Oh wait, show me again.
Doesn't it look like Gaster? Like, look away and look back.
Yes, it does.
Right? It looks like his eyes with the white.
Maybe there is a connection there.
But that was like a Persona final boss.
Yeah, it was. I assume it was supposed to be like. It was a definite homage to Gygas. But like, yeah, he shoots out like what is it? Because it like shoots out like fetuses that you have to dodge. It's interesting. It's interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the I don't know, gods of the dark world, I guess. Like the stuff that's under the dark world. Like kind of, I guess, untold horrors.
It's like yeah. So it's opening. It's like fountaining inside a fountain creates it, right? Yeah. So it's like the fucking movie. Oh my god, why am I blanking?
Journey to the Center of the Earth.
No, The Substance. Where did you watch that? I didn't think it was that good. But
is that the one where it like sucks the life from other people?
It's like it came out like last year. It's like she takes the shot and it like creates a young hot version of herself, but like they have to like switch. It doesn't matter. There's like a part where she like injects. She puts the substance drug into the substance like hot or substance body, and it creates like a deformed monster, and it's like that's
cool.
What
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's like that's what it reminded me of, where it's like you're fountaining in a fountain, so it creates a monster.
Yeah.
Like
it's like there's like that stuff below the plane in Petscop.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of Petscop energy in 4.
I like this concept. I also just like Petscop, but I like this concept of going deeper into things and it getting more and more like messed up.
Yeah. It was also interesting. I noticed that maybe it was because I played 3 the same day I watched the new Sock Muppet video, but like the amalgam.
That was a bold choice to release a Deltarune theory video on the day.
He dropped it like that morning. It was like I was like, oh okay. I don't think it really connected. Unless I think
it was Undertale, right?
It was Undertale, yeah.
Okay.
But it talked about it like it was still like it was a continuation of all the True Lab like flower stuff he's been talking about, but he's on like another level of understanding the story that I'm like not at yet, where I'm like. I don't think I'm at his level.
He's to the point where I don't even know if Tony Fox is like capable of planning all these things.
He spent like 45 minutes talking about oh my god, what's the guy's name? Like the snowflake bird kid. Talking about like his family relationship and stuff, and it's like it was like very interesting.
There's no way he's planning this stuff out this far, but it's interesting.
Did his video about the sand stuff was very interesting. It was like a really cool way of looking at it.
Yeah, he talked like indirectly about it. It was cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But yeah, when the amalgam popped up at the beginning of 3, and like when he's talking about the stuff, I'm like,
and it's got the friend face.
There's something there that's interesting because it's like Ralsei talks about how it sometimes it gets so dark.
No, I think that's...
What does he say? Like...
I think that's what he's describing there is being an inanimate object.
Yeah. Yeah, he talks about the idea when it's dark, the inanimate objects take, like you start to see things, like, with the inanimate object, you know?
I think that's, like, when you're not inhabited by the power of the Dark Fountain, you, like, can't really remember what happens because nothing happens because you're an inanimate object.
Yeah.
And when the Dark Fountain comes back, it like, you know, you fill in your memories and stuff, and you can't really.
Yeah.
Everything is like it kind of mixes together like you're in instrumentality. Monster Instrumentality Project.
So. Okay, I guess we'll end with this. Like, unless you had any more things, like, I guess we'll end with, like, what do you think is going to happen with the festival and the stuff in the next chapter?
My knowledge of media and literacy and being 5 out of 7 acts tells me that nothing bad is going to happen at the festival and everything is going to go perfectly. Nothing good ever happens at a festival at the climax of the story. Come on. Yeah. Something terrible is going to happen.
I wonder if it's going to start with the festival or they're going to do the fountain, the next fountain, like whatever, the flower shop stuff, and then end with the festival being a disaster.
The festival has to be at night, right? Right?
Does it? Did they say that?
Have you seen Your Name? You know what happens at the festival.
Makoto Shinkai's Your Name.
Spoiler cast for Your Name. Something bad happens at the festival. And about time, too.
Yeah, I think my guess is that it's like whatever happens at the festival is gonna like set the rest of the like the last two chapters on like an irreversible like there's no more normal life in the sound. It's only plot now. Like kind of, you know what I mean? Where it's like there's no going back to the town and hanging out. That's over. Like kind of part of the story.
Yeah, I don't know. I think something terrible is going to happen. I don't know what it is. Somebody's going to get attacked or die or something.
My first thought was like, oh, it might be later because like I could see this being when everything's found like into Undertale, quote unquote. You know, like
the festival could be, it could be like after or 6 or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They say it's. See, the thing is, I'm like, oh, it's next chapter because they say it's tomorrow, but like. The entirety of all the chapters so far has been within 48 hours, right?
No, because every one ends with a night, right?
One...
And
yeah, so
you pull out the knife.
It is, because... it's 72 hours, because one is one day, you go to sleep, next day is 2, then that night is 3. Like the night after 2 is 3, and then the next morning is 4. So it's 3 days. It's been all within 3 days so far.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, yes. So I guess it's possible that that 5 ends before the
morning of
the festival.
Yeah.
I imagine the festival's at night. I don't know if they've said anything about
in my head. I imagine it's night too. Because like. When you think about festivals and, like, media, yeah, it's always at night. I think you think of, like, a carnival.
I mean, okay. It's going to be a Japanese festival, right? It's Tony Fox, right? It's going to be
my favorite
the Japanese festival where they
all
wear yukatas. And
they're going to wear, like, nice Deltarune outfits, and then something's going to go horribly wrong.
Well, they're going to have, like, all the different stands with the, like, entertainment and stuff.
Yes. I wonder if there's going to be something where you're, like, trying to fucking stop the night or something at the festival. Like, I don't know. But,
the night tries to, like, ambush you at the festival to stop the prophecy from happening?
I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But, like, I do think there's, like...
I mean, it's not just going to go down without anything interesting happening.
It's
I'm aware that a story has to have a climax around 5/7 of the way through.
Yes. Yeah, and then it's not like it's not like going to be like the climax of the story and then it's like the final battle or whatever, but it's going to be like the
conflict.
That turning point where it's like it's like you know, that turning point in stories where it's like, oh, there's no status quo anymore. Everything's gone to shit. Like, the rest of the story is like just the final stretch. Yeah. If we get the flower shop, I wonder if we're getting into more about how Asgore hit Des with his car. Well, I think it's been within like the past 48 hours I've been seeing this meme, like from when I'm recording this. Like.
This is the memes about this game have been so funny. The stuff with like the blown out text where it's like, I think he might be in a snow grave.
It's like what is it, like MCU, like Avengers, I mean Minecraft movie type shit.
He's right behind me, isn't he? Kind of saying that, and it's the night behind him. The stuff with like the rotoscoped gif of like Asgore. He does with the car is so funny.
God. What? Oh, is the thing where it's like a part of when you're in that stretch of 3 where it's like that flaming thing where like you're like Tenna walking around doing the stuff and you're trapped in the little gotcha walls. Is the one where it's like you're standing there and it's just like Tenna running from the distance? Is that real or is that like fake? I couldn't tell.
No idea.
I've seen it like a few places on the internet. It's like you're just standing there and you can move around but nothing happens and you just see like a tiny speck moving forward from the distance. It's just Tenna charging at you. Like, oh god, I don't know if that's real or a meme.
There's
but
too much stuff in this game, man.
And everyone is like, I don't know how to trigger this. Like, I don't know what triggers this. That's what everyone says.
Do you know about the titles in the game? There's like in the pause screen, everybody has like titles that change throughout the game when like you do different things.
No, what is
one of them is like the moss eater. If you eat moss, you become like moss eater, moss connoisseur, and stuff. There's some crazy.
It is really funny that I found the moss in. Is it like something you have to find? Because I got the moss in both without trying.
Yeah, I think you always have to find it.
Yeah.
It's not like super hidden. Moss most munches the most moist mosses. The sheath, if you're in the sword route, I think. Yeah. Blazer specializes in sword attacks. There's like all these different titles that you get throughout the game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's definitely like 3 and 4 were so much more dense with stuff than 1 and 2, right?
2 was pretty dense.
2 was pretty dense. I think it feels like it's more dense because we got 2 at the same time, probably. Where we're like, there's so much here.
Holy shit, 2 cakes.
God. I think... Does that about wrap it up? I don't know if I have any more.
I don't know. I could talk about this.
We can go forever and ever, but...
we'll call it here.
We're going to end up finishing this and talking about something that we're like, oh, we wish we would have said this in the pod. But, yeah. Very excited for 5 next year. Unless it gets delayed.
He seems to be pretty good about his time seams.
It seems like 3 and 4 were done, and he was holding out for the Switch too.
Yeah, which is why I think 5 is going to be faster than the other ones.
Because he's already been putting him at, like, for the past, 6 months, he's been putting out updates about 5 in his newsletters, and I'm like, okay, so, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you all. Friends, folks, everyone watching. Stick around. There's more exciting fun to come on the vlog official. Any last lines?
Yippee! 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 I love Deltarune! Deltarune has a funny fucking game. I love it. It's amazing. I love this holiday. I love the roaring night. I love Asgore. I love Asgore. I love Asriel. I hate Relsa. Relsa should die. Rulscar deserves to die. A terrible fate might become you at the rest of all the rules. Susie, you are beautiful and you are a wonderful dragon. The dragon blazes of all time. You turn it off. Why am I still going?